imagine, son.
Welcome back to another episode of the Short Box. My name's Ryan, and today we're going to be talking about First Issue Special number 8, First Appearance of The Warlord, created by Mike Grell, who you may know from his long run on Green Arrow, which started with the Longbow Hunters. Just had the pleasure of doing an interview with him recently, so I thought, why not talk about one of my other favorite books that he did, which he actually created, which was The Warlord. Now, you'll notice this is not The Warlord number 1. This is First Issue Special number 8, like I said. And this was a series that DC did where they would debut a new character in each issue. Some of them went on to get their own series. Some of them didn't. Warlord did for multiple years. And I wanted to kind of share this character with you guys who may not be familiar with it. He actually did appear recently in Young Justice by Brian Bendis. This comic was published in 1975. This is when DC was kind of trying to introduce some new characters. I think the first issue of First Issue Special actually was had Atlas by Jack Kirby. You know, some other characters would debut in here as well. But I think the Warlord probably would have to be my favorite of the characters that debuted. Right off the bat, you see finding a dinosaur, and he's got some like barbarian chick. We have no idea what's going on, but Grell quickly takes us back. We learn about Travis Morgan. He's a pilot for the U.S. Air Force, and he's flying over Russia on a secret mission, and he notices something's going on. It seemed like he lost fuel. He's flying over by the North Pole, and he ends up crashing, or about to crash, and then parachutes into this jungle setting, and he doesn't understand. He's noticing another weird thing. It was after 6 p.m. when he ditched, but the sun's directly overhead, seems larger, so he starts to get the feeling that something is definitely off, right? It's not. He's weirded out, and we have no idea why. So as he makes his way through the jungle, we notice that he sees that this almost looks like a land untouched by man from a different time. And as he's exploring this, he compares it to the Garden of Eden and its beauty and how it's unlike anything he's ever seen. And before we get in, I like this. There's the story behind the story. We get a little dossier on Mike Grell. Kind of give you a little bit of history of him. An old Twinkies ad with Shazam, which I thought was kind of funny as well. And as he hears sounds coming, and he sees a dinosaur from the Jurassic Age, which had been dead for 150 million years. He's shocked. He has no idea how he got here. And then he sees one of the most beautiful women he's ever seen, and he comes to her rescue. Even though he's shocked, he comes to her rescue and doesn't let him stop him. Doesn't stop him from saving her. He notices that his gun, which he shot off, had no effect on the creature. And now he goes to the knife, and he battles the dinosaur head to head, which is the exact scene we saw from the opening page. And he makes quick work, but wait, as he tells the girl to run, we learn that she's just as brave as he is, and she goes in for the kill. And again, like I said, it's these type of stories that I kind of miss. I like the adventure comics. I like the sword and sorcery. It's a genre that I guess maybe there's a reason we don't see enough of it. Maybe there's not as much of a fan base, but I think if you have a good creator, good writer, good artist, it could definitely be successful, for sure. Weird warriors coming in to attack. Takes out his gun once again, reloads, and now they have no idea what's going on, because if you'll notice, they're wearing old school armor, and they appear afraid of the gun, as Morgan makes note of. takes out their leader, but with only one bullet left, he realizes maybe he needs to just go with them. So he tells Tara to go with him. And then as we go, we see more odd structures, beautiful city, cobblestone streets, just adds more to the mystery of where he is. And then we see Deimos, who's a sorcerer, and he seems odd, but Morgan is welcomed by the king. He's treated like a hero, almost like a god. And all the women come to him, bathe him, and dress him in their garb. But Deimos is still weary of him and wants to take him out. As he goes to rest, though, he wakes up and we see something else that's odd about this land. He wakes up with his hair long and a full beard. This is where we first learn that time runs differently where he is as well, which kind of lends to why these people are stuck in the past, kind of warriors. There's no technology here. And he begins to learn, as do we, where he is. He's in Skartaris. He learns the language from Tara, and we learn where she's from, Shambhala, and how her people are looked as savages. But she says we don't make blood sacrifices to our gods either. And so most of this issue is all set up. We're learning basically where he is, who the main characters are going to be, which is going to be Travis Morgan and Tara. They're the two main characters of the series going forward. As you go page by page, you just want to learn more, and it makes me kind of want to continue on and find all these old comics because I've only read them sparingly. But we also learn that Travis has figured out where he is. He's in the center of the earth. This is where Skartaris is. And the reason that he fell in is because he was right over the North Pole. He notices there's a hole over each one, and that's how he was able to fall through. And that their sun is actually a ball of flaming gas held in the center of the earth by gravity, which is why it's always daytime there. There's never any night. She thinks he's crazy when he says he's flying in a plane, because she has no idea what a plane is, And as we go, we see Deimos has his plans to take out Travis Morgan. He sends somebody to spy on him. She thinks she's going to be rewarded, but he poisons her and turns her into a snake. And as they go to kill Travis Morgan, he's lying in wait, and he finds them and defeats them with Tara, and they make their escape. And as the issue ends, Grell says, beneath the unblinking orb of eternal noon, Travis Morgan, late of a world called Earth, and Tara, a warrior woman of Skartaris, steal from the city of Thera and are swallowed by the jungle, bound for a distant land, bound for adventure. And, a little bit of a history on this too. Mike Grell, he was promised a year on the book. After 2 issues, it was canceled. It was so popular, and it was one of the best sellers, actually, that when Carmine Infantino, who was running DC at the time, was fired and Jeanette Kahn took over, she immediately put it back into print. And it went on for years, like I said, as a successful series. Right here, too, the first issue was starring Dr. Fate, which is actually a new Dr. Fate because the original actually came out in the Golden Age. But yes, this was first issue special number 8. First appearance of the Warlord. I know many of you probably aren't as familiar with the character. It's not exactly one of DC's most well-known characters, but definitely one of my favorites. Probably going to do some more coverage of the more obscure stuff that I'm into, stuff that maybe the vast majority of people may not be familiar with, because I always love shining some light on, not just indie creators, but also on those unknown comics that I think are really special and that everybody should definitely check out. So if you're not following us, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Comic Lounge. Throw your comments, suggestions down below. Or you can email us, thecomicloungepod@gmail.com. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up. And hit that bell icon as well. And on that note, I'm out.